Trail. I thought you were going to break out in your Whitney Houston voice right there. I saw that. I saw it's in you. I saw it's in you. Somebody else, I saw that. I saw Sting in you. That's good. I saw Seal over here. That's good. I see these things. Prince in the back. I see you back there, Prince. Okay? Listen, it's time to blaze your own trail. I come to talk to the people who still believe. Remember when you were a kid and you believed that you could make a difference? And we would ask what now might seem to be silly questions, but you are a child blazing your own trail. And as adults, it is interesting that we still admire people who have childlike attributes, who still believe that they can make a difference. Let me ask you a question. Has your life and leadership journey, has it been so bumpy in corporate America for you that you forgot that you can make a difference? I not only speak, but I do leadership trainings and I do coaching. And one of the things I have found out in the whole coaching process is often you meet people who get up to go to work every single day who no longer believe that they can make a difference in society. Leadership, their journey has been tough. They feel broken. They feel like they're driving on flat tires. I've come to tell you this morning that the people who make a difference, catch this, get your hands ready to clap. Just do this, get them up like this, because this is good stuff. Sometimes you just got to help people out. You got to let them know here it comes, all right? Get that ready. The people who make a difference are the people who believe they can make a difference. I know, that's deep. That's deep. I say about 2 deep things every year, okay? That was number 1 right there, okay? Now I'm coming out here to have a talk with you, all right? The people who make a difference are the people who believe they can make a difference. The moment you stop believing that you can make a difference is the moment that you stop making that difference. Maybe you've heard the story. It's an old one, and that story goes like this. But I want to remind you because of its powerful principles and its powerful truths. Remember the story. An old man is walking down the beach. And as he's walking down the beach, he sees a young man. He sees a beach full of starfish. The tide has washed them up onto the beach. The sun is starting to rise, and as the sun rises, it's drying them out. They are dying. And as he's walking down the beach, he sees a young man, and that young man happens to be running back and forth. He's running to the water and he's running to the shore. He's running to the water, he's running to the shore. And as the older gentleman gets closer, he says to the young man, "What are you doing?" The little boy says, I'm throwing these starfish back into the water so that they can live. The older gentleman says, "There's 1,000 starfish out here." He says, "Don't you know that what you're doing does not matter?" The little boy says, "It matters to this one right here." He grabs one more starfish and throws it in the water. I've come to talk to the people who still believe that when you get up in the morning, it matters to the one person who pulled up that you talked to. It matters to the one person who walked into your organization. It matters to the one person that you get an opportunity to put your Wildfire team jersey, yes, I said team jersey, put your Wildfire team jersey on. It matters to that one person, and you can still make a difference. If you believe that, let me see you clap your hands this morning. Come on. Saginaw High? Saginaw High, right here, give me. Saginaw High. You can still make a difference. Everybody say, blaze your own trail. Blaze your own trail. Hold that note. Blaze your own trail. Blaze your own trail. I heard somebody back here go Luther Vandross on us back here. Somebody say, woo, 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 woo. I heard that. You can still make a difference. First way, and if you got pen and paper, please write it down. Because I don't want to just share words. I don't believe in just sharing words. I believe in trying to have an impact. I've got a short period of time to leave a beautiful organization with something that I believe that can make a difference, and I want to do that. They said, wait a minute, I didn't know I was going to school. Write them down. It's like, what did I do with that Sharpie pen? Number one, if you are going to blaze your own trail, you must build. Everybody say build. And what are you building? You are building a foundation, is what you are building. This organization, 1937, I believe, was the year, as you saw up front. This organization started with one phone, one person in a basement. Look at it now. Look where it has gone. One person, one phone in a basement, Saginaw Telephone Employee Credit Union. Interesting name, isn't it? Who came up with that one? Yes. Listen. If you're going to have an impact, your foundation must be strong. Your organization literally started in the foundation of a building in a basement. You are built on a strong foundation. And if I am correct, the gentleman's name was Hank Koski, who started in answering phones for your organization, Saginaw Telephone Employee Credit Union. The tallest buildings in the world also have the deepest foundations in the world. It takes something deep so that you can build upon it. You are built on a strong foundation. Do you remember when sparks would cause blazes? Do you remember people like Dr. King, who started off as a spark, who caused a blaze that we are still celebrating today? Do you remember people like Mother Teresa, who somehow changed the world just through acts of kindness? A teacher who happened to share her lunch daily with students who had no food and then realized that there were God knows how many students who had no food. So she blazed a trail and started helping young people. We still celebrate her today. Do you remember a gentleman by the name of Thomas Edison who just decided that he wanted the world to have light? And I think I'm talking to some people this morning who believe that this world deserves a little bit of light. And I'm not talking about the stuff that's coming from the ceiling. I'm talking about the stuff that comes from your heart. But you got to be willing to blaze your own trail. Come on, clap your hands in this place. Build a foundation. You started somewhere. Listen. It is not easy to build a foundation, but it is well worth it to build a foundation. It must be built if you're going to do something great in this world. You must build it. And while you're building it, you have to believe in what you're building. Do you believe in what you're building? Do you believe in what you're doing? Are you getting up and still believing that you can have impact? My son, his name is BJ, handsome young man, okay? Handsome young man, Brian Jr. he is. When he was about 7 years old, we're outside and we're in the garage. And Brian, from the garage door opener, there's a little rope that hangs down. Lets you know when you can stop your car because you've made it in the garage just enough. And like every young man, my daughters would always say this to me. They'd put their dresses on and they would go, "Daddy, how do I look? Am I pretty?" And of course, as a dad, I would say yes, but as every young man, my son would go, "Daddy, watch this." Sticks his chest out and he starts jumping. He starts jumping. He starts jumping. I said, "Son, what are you doing?" He says, "I can touch this rope." I says, "Okay, son." He keeps jumping. He keeps missing. He keeps missing. I'm trying to get done taking care of this yard work. He's like, "Wait, Dad, wait 1 second." 5 minutes go by. He still can't touch the rope. 10 minutes go by. He still can't touch the rope. I'm like, "Son, well, why don't you rest and we'll come back later and you can try again." He says, "No, Dad, I can touch this rope. He's in the garage. It's summertime. He's sweating profusely. I said, this boy's going to dehydrate, and I can't explain this to his mama, okay? What happened to my baby? I can't explain it. He didn't quit. It was 20 minutes later. He jumps up, he hits the rope, and we just celebrate in the garage. We're both sweating now. I understand why he's sweating. I'm sweating because I'm old and I'm in a garage. Here's what I learned, because our kids teach us an awful lot, don't they? My son taught me something I want to just share with you. Never stop trying. Never give up. Keep jumping until you reach the height that you want, until you have the impact that you want, until you accomplish what you set out to accomplish. He was 7, but he was teaching me a little bit about life. Everybody say, blaze your own trail. Blaze your own trail. Say it again, blaze your own trail. Blaze your own trail. Blaze your own trail. Blaze your own trail. That's funny. You ready to tell you? She said, no, you're funny. Blaze your own trail. The second thing that you need to be able to do is not only build the foundation, you got to lead. Be a leader. Lead. If you're going to blaze your own trail, you have to lead. Let me tell you something. The person across the table, just look around. Look around your table. The person to your left and the person to your right, that's what a leader looks like. Go ahead. Go ahead, look. Somebody's like, I will not. I will. Some of you look more enthusiastic about what you saw than others. No. The person to your left and the person to your right, the person across the table from you, that is what you call a leader. In other words, everybody is a leader. Everybody has different talents, gifts, and abilities. They may not be able to do what you do, but they can do something that you cannot do. That's why they are a part of the Wildfire team. Everybody's a leader. And let me tell you something about leadership. Leadership has nothing to do with titles or position. It has everything to do with influence. Go ahead. You should have clapped right there. That's okay. You should have. You know what? I like you guys so much, I'm going to give you another chance. Let me hit the rewind button. Hold 1 second. Leadership has nothing to do with title or position. It has everything to do with influence. There you go. There you go. Sometimes you got to hit the rewind button, give people another chance in life. That's all I'm saying, okay? You guys don't remember the rewind button from the cassette tapes? Are you telling me I'm the only older person in the room? You don't remember hitting the record button, the red button, and you did. All right, treat people. It's not about your title. It's not about your position. You can have titles, you can have position, and you can be a poor leader. You don't need a title, you don't need a position to blaze a trail on how you treat people and make an impact in your community and to love people and treat them with what I call respect, dignity, and kindness. The RDK of great leadership, respect, dignity, and kindness. It's the same stuff that our grandparents used to teach us, that grandma used to teach us. I don't know what we call our grandmama Big Mama. Big Mama used to teach us. Nana used to teach us. Whatever you called your grandmama. They taught us respect, dignity, and kindness. It's the same stuff that when we dropped our kids off at school this morning, we probably gave them the same speech that our parents gave us, which was simply this. Now, little Billy, when you go in there, you be nice today. You treat people with respect. You treat people with kindness. You treat people with dignity. And they said, okay, Mommy, and they jumped out the car and they went into the school. Now, here's a problem that I've seen over the years at times in corporate America. Often we tell our kids to do that, and then we drive to our workplaces and we do the opposite of that. Rewind. And then we get to our dinner tables if we're not careful. And we ask little Bobby, did you do the RDKs today? Oh, yes, Mom. Oh, yes, Dad. Maybe a better question is, did I do the RDKs today? Did I treat people with respect? Did I treat people with dignity? Did I treat people with kindness? Because it's not just about playing kindly and fairly with others on a child's playground. It's about doing the same thing when we're in the workplace. It's about how we treat one another. It does not take much to walk up to somebody and shake a hand. How you doing there?
Good, how are you?
Good. It does not take much to put a smile on your face and blaze a trail. Everybody walking through here mad. And here you come. Blazing your own trail, just smiling, walking in. And why are you smiling? You're smiling because you realize this is not a job for you. This is an assignment for you. Come on. It's been a long time since I got up and went to work. I don't even know what that means anymore. I refuse to even think like that. I believe in getting up and going and answering and fulfilling my assignment. Sometimes that's in a building. That's your assignment here. You got an opportunity to touch people's lives. You got an opportunity to lead. It's not title, it's not position, it's how you treat people, it's influence, and any and everybody in the building is a leader. In other words, don't wait for somebody else to blaze a trail. You blaze your own trail. Oh, choir, you're doing so well. Did we get the choir uniform, Susie? Did we have them? Okay, make sure they come out. The choir's wonderful today. Yes, choir's wonderful. You blaze your own trail. His name was Wells Crowthers. His father was a leader in the community, volunteer firefighter. I love volunteers. Volunteers show up to places because they just are passionate about something. They show up because they feel like they have an assignment to something. It gives them purpose in life. His father was a volunteer firefighter. And every morning when he woke up, he would grab his red bandana as he would head out to the fire station. And one day, Wells, a little boy, about 9 years old, he stole his father's red bandana. He asked his dad one day, he says, "What does that red bandana stand for?" His father says, "It means that it's time to help others." And he would grab that red bandana and he would head off to work. Wells stole that red bandana, and you can look online and you will see Wells at about 7 or 9 years of age, and he's riding his bike and he's got the red bandana wrapped around his head. His dad was looking for the red bandana, could not find it, asked his son, did he have it? Wells says, "Yeah, I have it, Dad." He says, "Would you like one of those?" He says, "Yes." He says, "But let me tell you what it means." He says, "What does it mean, Dad?" He says, "It means that it's time to help others." He says, "If I give this to you, son, you got to commit to that." He says, "Okay, Dad." Wells went off to college, and if you look online at pictures of him playing lacrosse at Boston College, you will see Wells underneath his helmet. He has on his red bandana that his father gave to him. Wells graduated from Boston College, and when he graduated from Boston College, he got his dream job. Working in the Twin Towers. And then 9/11 hit. Do you remember the day? Do you remember where you were at? I'm going to ask you really quickly. I'm going to come to some of you. Where were you at? What were you doing? For me, I had just got done doing school assemblies at a high school in the country. And as I was walking down the hallway, each room's TV popped on. Boom, 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 boom. And this unthinkable information was coming across the screens. I remember the day like yesterday. Question, where were you at? What were you doing? Where were you at? What were you doing, big guy?
Ninth grade orchestra class.
Ninth grade orchestra class. Great haircut, by the way. Where were you at? What were you doing? Yeah.
I was one.
You were one. You were one. You were getting your diapers changed. You were getting your diapers changed. Okay, that's what you were doing, okay? Where were you at?
I was coming out of loan committee, and we walked by our security officer, and he had a teeny tiny screen, and we're all staring at it.
Wow. Where were you at?
I was skipping chemistry.
She was skipping chemistry class.
Sounds about right.
Your teacher is right over there. You didn't know we have been looking for you this whole time, huh? You never get away. Where were you at?
I was in
Second hour senior year of high school. I already know you're going to tell me you were one. I already know. You look good, though, man. I just know you were about one. Where were you at, David?
I was in a classroom. The teacher put it on the screen.
Okay. Let me tell you what was happening while we were watching. What was happening while we were watching, the building was on fire. Wells Crowthers got on a cell phone, called his mother, and said, "Mom, I'm okay. Tell Dad I've got my red bandana and it's time for me to help others." We're talking about being a leader. And he hung up the phone. Wells Crowthers is on the 100th floor. He runs into a room full of fire and smoke. He begins to wave the red bandana and he says, "Hey, if you can see me, follow me." He says, "If you can see this red bandana, follow me. I know the way out." People started following him through the smoke and through the fire and down the stairs. Do you know that he literally led the people to safety in the streets? He could have went home. He could have been a hero at that moment, but that's not who his father raised. He says it's time to help people. He runs back into the building. He runs back into a room full of fire and smoke. He begins to wave the red bandana. He says, "If you can see me, if you can see this red bandana, follow me. I know the way out." He leads another group of people out to the street to safety. He could have and would have been a hero again for the second time. Could have went home, but he did not. Not the way he was raised. He was raised to be a leader, to blaze his own trail. So while everybody is running out of the building, he's running into the building. He runs into a third room. "Hey, if you can see me, if you can see this red bandana, follow me. I know the way out." People follow him down to the street. He needs a third group of people to safety. He saves their lives. He can go home, but he doesn't. He runs back into the building for a fourth time. And when he does that, he doesn't come back out. The way we discover about the young man with the red bandana is after a few weeks when people were being interviewed, they asked the question, they said, "How did you get out of the building from the 100th floor? How did you get to safety?" And people kept talking about a guy who was waving a red bandana and they didn't know his name, they just followed him. They don't need to know your name. They just need your leadership. They just need some empathy. And everybody talked about the guy with the red bandana. Weeks went by, and all of a sudden, as they went through the rubble, they found a young man who had died, and inside of his hand was the red bandana that his father had left him. He was lying there next to firemen and police officers. They all risked their lives and gave their lives that day. Wells Crowthers was a leader. He blazed his own trail. You know what I believe we have in this building here today? I believe we have some people who are willing to blaze their own trail. Come on, clap your hands. The A in blaze means to adapt. You must adapt to challenges. Everybody say blaze. Your own trail. Blaze your own trail. Blaze your own trail. I love it. Man, you guys got a lot of people here with great haircuts. I just want you to know that, okay? Huh? I think we need to make this standard. That's what I'm saying, huh? Some good-looking guys, man, right here, huh? We all got the same barber. It's okay. You have to adapt to challenges. Resilience is your best friend as you continue to blaze trails. It will not be easy, but that does not mean that you're going the wrong way. Just because there are challenges, just because you got to put up a little bit of fight, that does not mean you are going the wrong way. It actually might be telling you you are headed in the right direction. So no matter what the challenges are, no matter what the obstacles are, keep moving ahead with your vision, keep moving ahead with your core values, keep moving ahead with your leadership expectations. The story you saw, the timeline you saw go across this room as we started today, what you didn't hear is you didn't hear the challenges. How they had to adapt to change. Every new partnership, every new building, every new year, it was a challenge. They had to adapt to change. Can you change? I was playing football at Central Michigan University. We were playing in the championship football game. And as we were playing in that game, it was pretty close. We were on the verge of losing it. And our kicker decided to take a little bit of a risk as we went out to kick the ball, to punt it away. The whole game, he had noticed that the other team had one guy missing in the corner and just wasn't being disciplined. So we go out to kick the ball, which was the smart thing to do. By the way, go Lions, come on, go Lions, come on, go Lions. He goes out to kick the ball, and he makes a decision before he goes out. If that guy's not standing over there, I'm running. I'm taking a risk. Now, here's the problem. He has not had this conversation with our coach. It is a championship game. We are on our own 30-yard line. It is the fourth quarter. It is not a good idea. Somebody say, blaze your own trail. Somebody say, what you talking about, Willis? You don't remember that show either? Man, I'm dating myself in here. Come on, y'all, help me out. Different Strokes? Arnold Jackson? Oh, thank you. Okay, thank you, Susie. Thank you. I appreciate it. We go out. The guy's not in position. Our kicker decides he's running it. Now, here's the only problem. A, he hasn't talked to the coach. B, he runs about a 6'5", 40-yard dash. Real slow, okay? Great at kicking, just not the guy you want running the ball. But he's going to blaze his own trail. They hike him the ball, he gets it, and he takes off running. Everybody's blocking for him, right? We're blocking, and we're looking for the ball to come over our head, so we're all looking like this. Where's the ball? The other team starts looking up too. Where's the ball? Where's the ball? The ball has not been kicked. Here comes Craig. His name was Craig Fisher. Here comes Craig running, and it looked like this. True story. Hello, guys. I'm watching the other team, and they're watching Craig. We're all doing this. Here's what we're doing as he's running. This is how slow he's running. It's slow. He runs past one guy, and the guy's looking at him like this. What are you doing? He's so slow, they're having a conversation. What are you doing? Craig is making his way down the field. I'm standing next to our head coach. And as I'm standing next to our head coach, I hear him say, what is he doing? He goes, no. True story. He starts swearing. He's like, boop, 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 boop. And I said, man, that's talented. He's doing it in the beat and the rhythm of Michael Jackson's Billie Jean. Did I just date myself again? There's a whole group of people here going, Billie Jean, Michael Jackson. And then all of a sudden, he watches Craig 10 minutes later start making his way to the end zone. And he goes from, what is he doing? I'm going to kill this kid. Boop, boop, go, go, yes! Craig meanders his way down the field. He scores the winning touchdown in the championship football game. And to my shame as a running back, he has the longest run of the entire season. Oh, the way life has its ways of humbling you as a person. I still hear it today. Pruitt, yeah, you were an All-American, but who had the longest run that year? Here's what I want you to know. Craig went down in history because he blazed a trail. He took a risk. What I am saying to you is this. Blaze your own trail. Your team is here today to tell you, go, you got this. You can do this. You can be somebody. You can make an impact. I had somebody in my life that made an incredible impact in my life. And I want to tell you about that as I move into this next point. The Z stands for zealous. Zealous passion. Everybody say, blaze a trail. Blaze your own trail. Blaze your own trail. Something's wrong with this part of the choir. She says, I'm not a singer. I'm not a singer. Do you dance? Kid and play? You do? Or did I just date myself again? Gosh, I got to stop this. Have a passion. What are you passionate for? I know today one of the things that, as I've talked to your leaders over the past couple months, the hardest to not just be in the city, the hardest to be an organization that impacts the city. Oh, you should have clapped right there. Do you know how many organizations are in the city? Lots. Do you know how many of them have impacted the city? Few. You have an opportunity to leave an imprint, a footprint in the sand, so to speak, to say, I was there. I was a part of that when that took place. I was there when we did that. I left my footprints. I left my handprints in that place. I had an opportunity to change the lives of the people in my community. His name was Coach Lawrence McKinley. Coach Lawrence McKinley was a volunteer coach at an elementary school in the city of Saginaw. I love volunteers. They change people's lives. My whole life has been changed by people who just volunteered. It was a volunteer from Saginaw Valley University, a young man from the city of Detroit by the name of Mike McMorris, who said, I'll join the Big Brother, Big Sister program. And I'll do it and I'll help a young man out. He came into my life when I was in the 7th grade. And at the age of 52, I just talked to him on the phone 2 weeks ago. We aged out of the program when I was 18, but a volunteer changed my life. That coach, Lawrence McKinley, elementary school, 4th grade, first day I met him, he broke me up. I was in 3 different fights that day. Don't look at me like that. Don't judge me like that. Okay, I had some behavior issues, okay? Okay? Is there a counselor in the room, right? You don't know me, okay? That coach changed my life. He worked at GM, making 6 figures. He volunteered at a local elementary, changing young people's lives. Most of us did not have a dad. He became a father figure to us. He did that for 4 generations of young people, for 40 years. He touched people's lives. I was with him on the day he became such a great coach. I was with him on the day when he was offered a college coaching position. And I was with him on the day when he said no. Because what people didn't know was that Coach Lawrence had left his well-paying job at GM and just started working at the elementary school, working with young kids like me. And I remember asking him, I said, why in the world would you turn a job down like that? Because what I knew about Coach Lawrence is that Coach Lawrence didn't have much. But he was the person that if we needed shoes, Lawrence showed up with shoes. If we needed a winter coat, Lawrence showed up with a winter coat. If we needed food, Lawrence showed up with canned goods and food. And sometimes he brought them from his own house. He was a volunteer who was changing the world. One person can make a difference. I remember the day when Lawrence broke me up from a fight. He says, you're a very talented young man, but you're a very angry kid. He says, you need a mentor. He began to mentor me. He began to take me to different sporting events, and after every sporting event, here's what he would say to me. He would say, Brian Pruitt, someday that's going to be you, and I'm going to be in the crowd. I am going to be watching you. And I didn't believe him. First of all, I didn't believe I could become it. Second of all, I didn't believe him. There was no reason to believe him. People like him did not keep their word. That was my experience. But Lawrence was going to teach me something different. Every week he would pick me up. Every week he would take me to a sporting event. Every week he would say, someday that'll be you. And I'll be in the crowd cheering. And I would say, Coach, that's not possible. And I said that because like some of you, my pain was so big and my dreams were about this small. But Lawrence was going to teach me how to blaze a new trail. Lawrence was teaching me that my past did not determine my future, that I got a chance to choose who I was and who I wanted to become. One day we walked out of a football stadium, and I said, Coach, someday that's going to be me, and you'll be in a crowd. You'll be watching. And he says, yes, I will. And he had the biggest smile on his face. Why? Because he realized one kid at a time. He was changing the world. One kid at a time. When I went off to Central Michigan to play football, every touchdown I ever scored, I looked into the stands. And one side of the stadium, I saw my mom. The other side of the stadium, I saw my elementary basketball coach who kept his word to me all those years. He just kept his word. Right before he died, I said, Coach, I wish I could pay you back for everything you've done for me. He says, you can and you will. I said, how, Coach? He says, I want you to find young men like me and I want you to do for them what I did for you. I said, yes, sir. It wasn't long after that when my coach passed away and I said to my wife, I said, we got to do something. My coach wants me to pay it forward. I got to pay it forward. I got to volunteer. I got to do something. I got to help others because somebody helped me. We sat down, and over a week we came out with a plan, and the plan was how do we help kids who were like me, kids who were growing up without a dad. And we started an organization called Power of Dad, where we would take the young men and we would teach them 22 life skills that my coach taught me, everything from anger management to conflict resolution to how to tie a tie. We are now in our 21st year with Power of Dad, and we have reached over 3,000 young men in the Great Lakes Bay Area. Come on, one person. One person can make a difference. What are you passionate about? What is your story? What have you been through? There is somebody, there is an organization, there is a place in this city where you can say, you know what? That's where I can serve. That's where I can make a difference. That's where I can do something to help to make an impact. Last but not least, the E in Blaze. Everybody say empower. Blaze your own trail. Blaze your own trail. Blaze your own. That's pretty good. And you can do that smiling the whole. She says, That's good. Here's how we'll end. Blazing your own trail simply means that you're willing to empower others. Who in your community, who in your life can you empower? People are going through tough times. And when they pull up to your bank, here's the truth. Here's what I know as a member. And I appreciate you because, like I said, I see some of your faces. You're awesome people. That's just not my bank account back there. Those are my dreams. Those are my hopes. Those are my kids. That's the money I'm sending my kids to college with. That's the money that me and my wife are saying, here's our dreams, and here's where we'll put the finances for our dreams. That's not just an account number. Those are our dreams. Thank you for how you handle our dreams. Thank you for smiling when we pull up to you. Thank you for seeing those beautiful faces on those screens when we pull up. Come on, thank you. You have the ability to empower others. Does anybody have a little money on them? $5, $10, $15, $20 on them? You got a little bit of money? Oh, you don't trust me? Oh, okay. Bankers, I get it. I get it. Anybody? Susie, you got? Okay, yeah. Oh, here's some money right here. Thank you. What's your name, buddy?
Jim.
Jim, thank you. Appreciate that. So as I was saying, he said I should have gave him the $1. Hey, listen, brother got 4 kids, 2 in college.
I got 3, so.
Do you? Okay, yeah. All right. See me in a couple years.
Need it back.
Oh, okay. See me in a couple years. We'll let it get some interest, and then we'll.
I like where you have that.
See that? There we go. We'll get together and talk there. So he's just paying his tithes. That's all he's doing. It's all right. It's okay. Right? Listen, Jim and the rest of the Wildfire team. Jim just let me have this $20 bills, and he did just let me have it. You witnessed this, right? You witnessed this, right? Sorry, Jim. Jim's just blazing his own trail, okay? $20. How much is it worth? $20. What if I ball it up? Sorry, Jim. Jim said, I just told you I had 3 kids. Now you up here playing with people's money, okay? What if I ball it up? How much is it worth? Still worth $20? What if I throw it down? Sorry, Jim. Jim was about to die. Don't you dive after that money, Jim. I saw you about to launch. It's still worth what? What if I stomp it? Jim, you're getting angry.
I know where to get a new one.
Ortiz, help him out, okay? He said, how much is it worth? $20. What if I kick it across the room? Some of you are thinking, now that's just rude, Pruitt. That's just Brian Pruitt. That's just rude. If I kick it across the room, how much is it worth? $20. He says, you better not do what I If I was walking across the parking lot today and I saw this money, balled up, stomped on, kicked around, wet, and I saw it, I probably would do what anybody else would do. Oh my gosh. And if I could prove that nobody didn't belong to anybody in the vicinity, I'd go, it's going to be a great day today. And if I left the campus here and I went out into the public and I needed to buy something, because I got 4 kids, thanks for the $20. And they said, sir, that'd be $20. I would go, you know what? I have. Let me ask you a question. This started off with the value of, it still has the value of, no matter what happened to it. Even though I balled it up, even though I threw it down, even though I stomped on it, it still has value. Let me tell you who's pulling up to your windows. Let me tell you who's walking into your buildings. People that this is happening to in real life. Life has a tendency to ball people up, stomp on them, kick them around. And let me tell you what you have the opportunity to do. You have the opportunity. Jim, you gave me 20? You know what? I'm going to give you another 20. You're going to get 40 back, Jim. Hey, we're going to send those kids to college.
Gonna need a little bit more than that.
A little bit more. Come on, Jim. Come on, Jim. He said, I need a little bit more than that.
Sign up to college.
Signed up for college. It doesn't take much to add value to other people's lives. That's what I want you to understand. I also know that not everybody who walks into your organization or pulls up there to get services from you, I also understand they don't always treat you with dignity and respect. I also understand that you may have just had the hardest week of your life. I want you to hold your head up high. I want you to put a smile on your face. I want you to stop thinking you're going to work. You're headed to your assignment. Blaze a trail. Smile at somebody, because in a dark world that we live in right now, it doesn't take much to add value to other people. Smile at them. Let them know they exist. Shake a hand. Say something positive. Give an affirmation to them. It only takes a second to show how great of a leader you are. Everybody say it with me one more time. Blaze your own trail. Blaze your own trail. Blaze your own trail. Blaze your own trail. Sing it, choir. Blaze your own trail. Oh man, that was some Barry Manilow stuff right there. That was some Barry Manilow stuff right there. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an honor to be with you today. I look forward to seeing you. I look forward to experiencing and seeing your impact in our community. GBG, go be great. God bless you. Thanks, Jim.
Yeah, no problem.